Tyson, a certified financial educator, coming to you today with today's edition of Financial Breakthrough Academy. I hope you are preparing greatly for the July 4th weekend, just as we are here. We want to give you one important content as we head towards the July 4th celebration. So let us pick up from where we began. We have this month focusing on some concept on retirement planning, and we began a few things yesterday. Again, this program is designed to provide you with valuable financial concept, educational content that helps you to be able to plan your own finance based on wherever you are and on your journey to financial breakthrough. So I want us to look at our concept for today. Before we do that, let's do a quick review from yesterday. We are talking today on retirement planning, characteristics of 401k, And I want us to do a quick review from what we did yesterday to be able to give us some insight, especially for those who may have missed our session from yesterday. First, let's go to the scripture. Proverbs tells us here that in chapter 4, Proverbs verse 7, it talks about the fact that wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom in all your getting, get understanding. It is my understanding, and it's your understanding from scripture that wisdom is a principal thing. If we should get anything we ought to, let us get wisdom. And I believe wisdom in applying to our financial life is critical, helping us to be able to make right financial decisions for our lives. So that is our scripture for today. And let's do a quick review from yesterday. We did a quick introduction on some basics of 401k. And best by way of, again, review, we talked about the fact that when you say a 401k, by definition, from the IRS own website, that the 401k plan is simply a qualified plan that includes a feature allowing an employee to elect to have the employer contribute a portion of the employee's wages to an individual account under the plan. So that is the basic definition there of what a 401k is. And we also talked about the fact that if you want to look at it from another perspective, when you say 401k, it means that one is participating in 401k retirement savings by deferring part of a salary into an account set up in your name. Any ends in that account are federal income tax deferred. So that is just by way of giving us a quick review from our last session. So let's head to looking at some characteristics of a 401k. What are some of the characteristics? This may not be exhaustive, but it should give us some good starting point to understand what the 401k is. Most of us have these plans through our work. If you're working in any organization, you may have these plans, and you want to be able to understand what it means and how you can be able to make use of it. So first of all, here are two advantages, though it's known, again, referring from IRS website about what a 401k plan may look like for anyone that is participating, whether it's the employer or the employee. So from the employer standpoint, one advantage is the fact that the employer contributions are deductible on employer's income tax returns. So an employer has the opportunity to deduct those contributions that they make. Part of their contributions in their P&L accounts that's reflected on their financial statement and therefore on their federal income taxes. So again, if you're a small business and you have the opportunity to set up this plan for your employees and for yourself, even if it's just a 2 or 3 member organization, that can be a great benefit in terms of helping you reduce your own federal income tax because of the ability to deduct the contributions the employee makes in the plan. On another advantage there is to the fact that elective deferrals and investment gains are tax deferred onto distributions. basically what it's saying here is that the employee who is making that contribution has the ability to defer taxes on those contributions that they are making, including any gains that is coming from those investments that are being made from the contributions until they are ready to actually distribute or make withdrawals from the plan. So these are two main advantages that is highlighted by the IRS in terms of what advantages of the 401k plan is, both to the employer and also on the side of the employee. So now let's take a quick look at some of the elements of characteristics that you may find when addressing a 401k plan. Number one, as we mentioned a few times already, the 401k plans are tax deferred. What does this mean exactly? Simply put, it means that whoever is making those contributions has the opportunity to postpone the income taxes that are designed to be on those portion of the income of the contribution party. So here again, the important thing to understand is that it is not tax free. I've had occasions on several occasions where people think that their contributions will be tax free when they turn 65 or when they are ready to retire. That is not the case. It is simply deferring or postponing the taxes until a later date. So, first of all, your 401k plan, especially for the traditional version of it, has the taxes deferred. In other words, you don't have to pay the taxes on the portion that you're making the contributions until you're ready to have the distribution. So that's the first thing to note there in terms of characteristics of the plan. The second thing is the contribution limits. On an annual basis, these amounts are reviewed. And as of 2018, the contribution limit is up to $18,500 per employee. So again, some plans may have different provisions, but it goes up to $18,500 in the year 2018. So that is about how much one can contribute up to now. There are several ways to go about it to maximize these plans when you are actually doing a comprehensive financial plan. And if you have various other options on how you can make contributions, especially more tax efficient vehicles, during one-on-one consultations, we are able to share some other options that can help you maximize your dollars over time, because for the most part, if you go beyond the matching contribution, you are not getting any much in terms of the tax advantage that may come down the road. So on a one-on-one session, we are always available to help in really helping you understand and plan how to really maximize this 401k plan to your advantage. The third characteristic here is the fact that if one is 50 years old and above, there is a provision in the current year 2018 that allows an additional $6,000 to be contributed into the plan. That brings us to a total of $24,500. So again, if you have the opportunity and you are about 50 years old, you have the ability to have that extra, we call it catch-up contribution, made into the plan. Again, you want to work as much as possible to take advantage of this when it fits your need. Again, everybody is different, every situation is different, every family is different, and you want to do what makes sense for your particular situation. Next is the fact that there is what we call a 10% penalty for withdrawals that are made before age 59 and a half. Again, depending on the particular scenario or circumstances, there may be a few exemptions here and there that is specified by the plan that allows you to make some withdrawals without a penalty. However, in general terms, if one makes any withdrawal before age 59 and a half, then we have the federal income tax penalty of 10% that is slapped on the plan contributor. So you have to keep that in mind as you plan your overall financial strategy going into your retirement planning process. Okay, so that gives us some important element here. The other important characteristics is the fact that federal income tax are applied at distribution. What does this mean? Basically, we have said earlier, the first point there, that the taxes are deferred. However, when we are ready to take distributions or make withdrawals for our use at retirement, at a time, the income taxes are paid. So you need to bear that in mind. And I've had opportunity to sit down with families whereby there is a bit of misunderstanding that these taxes will be due sometime in the future. So that is again some of the key elements. Let's look at a few more. We have what we call, again, there may be some matching contributions. We mentioned that earlier on or yesterday's our last session, that a company may elect to have a matching contribution in the plan to match any employee's actual contribution that they make. Again, you have to read and understand what is actually available for your particular situation. There is also the fact that plans may have automatic enrollment feature whereby when you are taken in, you get a new job automatically based on the plan that is in place, you may be automatically enrolled in a program. It will be up to you if you do not want to participate to opt out. However, we always teach that especially if there is a matching contribution, it is always a good idea to contribute up to the percentage that your company will match you dollar for dollar, because that is free money to you. Again, if there is an opportunity to contribute for a matching contribution from your employer, we do encourage you to take advantage of that. That is free money available to through your employer sponsor plan. Now, there are some vesting requirements. In other words, every situation is different. However, depending on your employer's particular plan, the vesting requirement may differ from one place to the other. Nonetheless, for the most part, employees own elected deferred amounts are most often 100% vested right away. Those portions that the employer contributes may have some specific requirements as to when they could vest it. Some may say, okay, you may have to work a couple of years or so before a certain percentage of the employer contribution is fully vested to you, and the rest, roll up as you get older in the firm. So you need to find out from your benefit provider to see what are the requirements to have the vesting actually completed on your behalf based on the requirement and how long you work in the company. Now, the last characteristics I want to touch on briefly is what we call the 401k rollovers. I get a lot of questions on the rollovers. Now, you have several options depending on where you are and what company you are trying to roll your money over to be able to do that. Whether you want to roll over, to a traditional IRA, whether you want to roll over to Roth, depending on what circumstance that may be, there are options available. There are cases where some may choose to just transfer it to which new company that you perhaps I would say getting a new employment, if that is a provision that is allowed in the plan for your new employer. So there are some cases where some people may choose to just leave their money where they used to work. Again, depending on the specific requirements or provisions, you want to find out and work with a financial professional to help you make those necessary transitions concerning your retirement planning. So that gives us a good quick overview of some characteristics of the 401k plan. Again, basically we talk about the fact that it's tax deferred. Contributions are up to $18,500 in the year 2018. If one is 50 years or older, we talk about an extra $6,000 available for contribution into the plan that you can make. There's a penalty, 10%, if withdrawals are made before 59 and a half. again, depending on the other provisions that may be exemptions, depending on the situation. Federal income taxes applied at distribution, and that there may be matching contribution. Plans may have automatic enrollment features. Vesting requirements may differ per plan, and they may have rollover opportunities where there is a need. So that gives us a quick idea of what 401k plans look like, some of the characteristics, and we are always available to be able to get a bit more into detail for every individual who would like to know how their plan looks like, what is working, how to be able to maximize your own plan. We can be reached 705889717 or go online to licenseconsultant.com/financial planning to be able to start a process of putting all your financial plan and the retirement planning process in place. We always are available to help provide education in local communities, churches, associations, small business enterprises. We are always available to help to educate your group, your people. This is a free service we are providing for those who like to implement these plans. We spend some time and do a one-on-one consultation to implement the plans, whichever it may be, for your overall financial planning. However, this content is designed to provide with basic education, information, insight on various financial concepts that you can implement in your own financial planning. It is always advisable to sit down with a professional whenever you want to implement these concepts and ideas to make sure that it fits your own financial need. With that said, I just want to wish every one of us our happy July 4th for those here in the United States and around the world celebrating this occasion. May the Lord bless our nation, bless our people. Have a wonderful rest of your day.